Hi and welcome to the Scottish English podcast. Today we have another episode from our Voices from Scotland series, where we meet people from Scotland or people who now call Scotland their home. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, or if you're a big fan, consider supporting the show's creation by leaving a tip or becoming a member. I've added more about that in the description. But let me introduce you to my guest today. Peter is from Poland, but has lived in Scotland for over a decade now. In our chat, he discusses how his identity has always been connected to Scotland and how he loves the melody of English in Scottish accents. We also talk about the cultural differences that come along with both English and Polish, and a few stories about mishaps with language, and a tiny bit of swearing too. We use a Scots word in this episode, which is breeks, which in English means trousers. It's quite a funny story, you don't want to miss it. Also, if you're watching this video, there was a tiny issue with the focus on the camera while we were recording. So the focus moves in and out a little bit, but it shouldn't stop you from enjoying the episode. So that's it. Let's get into my discussion with Peter. I wanted to say thank you for coming along and talking to me on the podcast today. And I want to just start off with maybe you can tell us how you ended up in Scotland, where you're from, what language you speak as your native language.
Okay, yeah, so I'm Peter.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry.
I was born in Scotland. 43 years ago.
You were born in Scotland?
Oh.
Shall we start again? Right,
this is very interesting, right?
Okay.
So within my head, right, it just sort of comes very naturally, right?
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if it was I don't know, maybe it wasn't accurate, but it kind of demonstrates who I am and how I think. Because I've been in Scotland for quite some time, 15 years now. And I find it very naturally, even making those mistakes, my brain almost doesn't pick them up anymore, right? So, but the truth is, to be accurate, I was born in Poland. And since I was, I remember the earliest I remember was kind of primary, end of primary. I've always wanted to know how people live in other countries. And I remember that was one of the ways of putting myself to sleep. Oh. I would close my eyes and I would think, kind of using my imagination, how streets look like, how houses look like, how, the ordinary things look like, in what way they are different.
Yeah. And do you know where that came from, that kind of practice?
No idea. It just came, again, very naturally. I didn't even think about it too much at that time, and just thought that I've always wanted to see or feel. Even I was even thinking about smells, how air smells like and things like that. And somewhere around, this is going to be quite cliche, I think that's the word, or cheesy. I came across a movie called Braveheart.
Okay. I thought he was going to be Braveheart or Trainspotting.
No, Trainspotting. No, that would have probably put me off at that time. But yes, I saw that movie the first time and it made such a big impression on me that I thought, oh wow. I thought two things. That country is something else. And the second bit was, I didn't know you can speak English like that.
Yeah.
Right? Because up until then, the only English I was able to pick up from, right, was, we would watch a lot of movies and things like that, and I was able to kind of, how we've got the guy that reads in front of, the whole voice and everything, like a lecturer, yeah?
Yeah, lector,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So I've always been trying to kind of put my ears behind and try to fish out little English words and things like that. But then I heard Scottish accent, and I know that Mel Gibson is not Scottish, right? But I think, I've talked to many people, and quite a lot of people said, yeah, he's done not too bad. He was, as in people would say in Scotland, he was all right, which means it was quite good.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. So yes, so basically we went to London for a year.
Who's we? You and your partner?
Sorry, myself and my fiance at that time, Magda. So we stayed there. We worked. We had 3 or 4 jobs at the same time, and we came back to Poland for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We got married, and again, don't know how I got married in the kilt.
Okay.
And I just didn't know. Like, again, quite a lot of things came out subconsciously. My brain was just trying to tell me, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? You should have seen the face of my mother when I said it to her. She was like, "Are you going to wear a skirt?" It's like, no, it's just, it's offensive to say something like that. But then see, when she saw me during the wedding, she goes, "Oh, you actually look beautiful."
Yeah.
So because people tend to think it's just a skirt, but it's the whole kind of Bonnie Prince Charlie outfit, right?
Exactly.
And then after that, we had a friend who had been in Scotland at that time for like 2 or 3 years, and he said, that would be a great place. You go to Edinburgh first. So we came to Edinburgh 2010.
Okay.
Huge winter. Everything's paralysed, everything's frozen. People from the agency calling you like 5 times a day. Are you coming to do the shift? It's like, what do you mean?
Because for you, from being from Poland, the amount of snow that you have in Poland doesn't matter. You go to work.
Yeah. So see, at that time I thought, ooh, that's not too much different. It's So the first thing we actually I still got the boots. We bought the boots, the hiking boots, because it was like, I think the weather is going to be pretty challenging here. So, and I still have the boots. So, well, there you go. I'm not going to say the brand, but they're doing quite well.
Good.
And I fell in love from the moment I got to the city, and I had that.
With the city or the country or in general?
I didn't know what it was. I just felt like this is what I'm supposed to be.
You have a feeling of belonging.
From the beginning, and I was just enjoying. I could stand on the bus stop listening to people's accents, and at that time it was Dallery, I think Dallery. So that part of Edinburgh, and it was fantastic. I had the challenges, but that was the beginning of that great journey that we're just on still. So.
Okay, and so you've been there for 15 years now, and you're talking a bit about your identity then. So how do you see your identity now after 15 years? Because if you had that idea before that you knew you wanted to go somewhere else, you had the kilt for your wedding. What about when you got there now?
I don't know. It's I work as a teacher, and quite a lot of kids, especially when they come for first year, so they ask me that question. Because for some kids it's very important, and they hear the accent, right? So you can hear immediately that I wasn't born in Scotland, but I think my accent is not too obvious, and people can get a bit, where are you from? I can't place it. You're definitely not from, you weren't born here. So I think I feel like I was born in Poland. But I know it's going to sound strange, but with some sort of Scottish soul that has always kind of been there.
Yeah.
And I've been drawn for ages to that island up north, and I just can't explain it. So I've never felt Polish in the sense that I miss my country. I don't. I miss people. I miss places. I'm kind of emotionally attached to my house that I was raised in.
Yeah.
The place I was born in, and obviously the most important moments that happened, right? But I haven't really kind of had this patriotic soul, or no, I haven't. So I would say I have a Polish. That's what I'll tell you exactly what I say. I have a Polish passport, but I feel Scottish.
Okay, good.
Okay.
And what about the place or the people or the culture makes you feel that way? Or is there anything, or is it just too big to describe?
Do you know? Again, it's just it just came so naturally that I just don't really think about it too much. Like I say, like, you know, I am there.
Yeah.
I just kind of become one with the place. And you know, like almost like, you know, I immediately felt fully integrated, fully part of that society or community. You know, if you look at it in a kind of smaller terms. And I think I have, so see, if you think about those 15 years, I have never had an incident that during which someone made me feel like I'm not from here.
Okay. Or not welcome even.
Yeah. Or you know, we don't want you here.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I met people on the way who were from Poland and they had, you know, incidents like that. But somehow, I don't know why, it never happened to me. Well, yeah, no, it just didn't. And I've always, and you know, some people tried.
Yeah.
But I love dealing with episodes like that because, you know, as a teacher, I just like to confront people. It comes quite naturally again.
You're used to it with the teenagers.
Like, yeah. Tell me more about what you just said.
Yeah.
And tell me why are you like that to me? I remember I had a situation. The guy was kind of approached me and said, "Oh, I'm looking for this in this place," and I started kind of explaining it to him, and he says, "Are you foreign?" And I said, "What does that mean?"
Yeah.
"Oh, were you not born in this country?" "No, I wasn't."
Yeah.
"So?" And he just didn't know where to go from there.
If you've lived in a place for that long as well, like, you know where you're going, right?
And people will be people, you know. So if there is something that they don't like about you, that's their problem, not mine. Yeah. I think also to kind of try. It's a difficult question, and like you said at the beginning, you know, it can be seen as a kind of a huge thing, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just, it all goes down to people. You know, people in Scotland, from my experience anywhere, are absolutely amazing. I've had nothing but, you know, being welcomed, being supported. All my best friends, from day one, you know, they felt like, you know, I have. Do you know, there's one situation that I will never forget. I got a job as a learning assistant, right? They used to call them like that. Now they PSAs or something like that. And I was down in PE, and I was supporting kids, right? And one of the PE teachers was behind me, and I said, what did I say? Something like, I didn't know you were doing this like that in your country. And he goes, whoa, why are you saying our country? And he stopped me there and he says, it's our country. You're here and you're with us. And you know what? That was like, I don't know, 10 years ago. But it made me feel like I belong there. Yeah. And it's such an important thing. So that one phrase, he was able to stop, and it was literally 30 seconds conversation, and he goes, you're one of us, you know, it's your country, and if you're here, you know, there is obviously privileges and responsibilities that come with us, but we're on the same boat. Yeah.
It's interesting how that one phrase almost changed your viewpoint.
Well. You basically kind of, because it's extremely important to hear that you're welcome. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And that's why, you know, since I heard that, that's the way I'm trying to be to other people.
That's really nice.
So,
really nice,
yeah.
Nice positive impact on your life, right? Literally on your life, right?
Chris Law.
Okay.
Chris Law, I need to say that. Fantastic teacher.
You can tag him in the video.
Absolutely,
afterwards.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
so 30 seconds conversation can change your whole life.
That's great.
Beautiful.
That's good, yeah. Okay, and then we're talking about culture and different things, and we know you talked about the Scottish accent being quite different. What kind of words and phrases have you learned in the 15 years that you've been in Scotland?
Yeah, see, it's difficult to kind of think about it, from the top of your head.
Or something that you love that you've never heard before.
So something that I don't stop using, right, is the little phrase or the little phrase "we." I just love that, and I use it all the time. A wee bit, as in a little, you know. And a wee, wee boy or a wee, I don't know, a wee joke, that word "wee." I just love it. I don't know what's in it, but I just find it quite useful and quite fascinating. So I hardly use little now, which is, I don't know, it just became one of my favorite words. I've got some notes here. I like to use the word cracking. As in great, exactly. Fantastic, as in fantastic. So a cracking day or a cracking tune or something like that. Also,
and these are kind of words that you would never learn until you went to Scotland or even the UK, right?
Unless you watch, I don't know, Train Spotting, right? Blether is quite a nice word, as in for a chat, also in school, like we use, I don't know, from time to time, like wing it.
Okay, to wing something, like to not prepare for it.
Yeah, like kind of, we're going to improvise and see how it goes. That's just beautiful.
I think that's, okay, it's not a Scots word. It's definitely a word from the UK, but
yeah, so like I hear it a lot. There is another too, if I may.
Yeah, of course.
I've only heard that last year, and I didn't know that word, sprog.
Oh, okay, for a child.
As in a child. So one of the women I work with. So how's your sprog now? What's that? What's that? It's like, what are you asking me? Your child. Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's interesting how you can be in the country for a long time and people can still surprise you, right?
Yeah.
And you think, I have never heard about that.
Yeah.
And in Scots, I think it's just like English, and it's interesting that it's Scots entangled into English, and people just use it.
And I think they don't know that they're using Scots,
Which is even better. I don't mind that. Absolutely, yeah.
But there'll be words that people will use, and people from England won't know what that word means, and then you have to explain yourself, and you have to think, okay, I know that I'm speaking a different language, right? Although I don't know it, I'm speaking a different language. I think it's.
But again, that's probably the part of your identity. Like I said at the beginning, I made a mistake, and I wasn't even conscious about it. So you just basically use it because that's the way you were born or raised, and that's what you've heard.
And you think it's your normal, right?
It is normal.
Yeah. But even for you to get to the level of English that you have, and be in a country and live in that community and feel that identity, and still you're learning. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, that is going to be until I die. I think you'll never exhaust that. It's always be, and this is what probably fascinates me because it's a never-ending journey, and you being surprised. If you I have a certain love for language. I've always been fascinated by languages, not only English, but I think English is, again, I'm going to say maybe something controversial, but I think English, especially on the Scottish side, another controversial thing, in my opinion anyway, I think it's one of the most beautiful languages in the world. And I don't find it easy. If someone says that English is easy, I would challenge that. But again, it's my personal opinion.
In what way do you find it beautiful though? Like, cause
it's
the range of vocabulary.
No, it's languages are always about one thing for me. It's the music. I'm a musician as well, so I don't know. It must be something within my hearing.
Yeah.
I just love the way it sounds. And you see, when I was picking up the language or English from movies, I would learn, first of all, I would learn the way it sounds, the music. And then as I was kind of growing up, my understanding of English became better and better and better, especially when I moved over to Scotland. And I started maybe to be a bit disappointed with certain lyrics from certain, songs, because you begin to understand. It's like, oh God, that's terrible.
But the melody sounds good, right?
The melody, and you would know yourself, like when we moved from Edinburgh, right? Towards Glasgow, and my daughter went to the nursery, right? And then she came back and started having that melody in her. It was like, oh, that's great. That's absolutely great.
It's really different.
It's and I could just listen to it for hours and hours and hours. I love the melody of certain languages, and I think the English on the Scottish side is absolutely one of the most beautiful.
I think as well, with that kind of musical background as well, you can hear different pronunciations of different words that we might have, because I think you're able to produce them as well. Like you've got, I would say your accent is quite similar to a Scottish accent. Like I think that, as you said before, you don't sound like a Polish English speaker. Do you know what I mean? Okay. I think that you've gone beyond the kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Proficiency. Like you know the language, but you're actually diving into how to pronounce each of those words in the local dialect, local accent as well. I think it's great. It's really good.
Thank you.
Really good.
Yeah.
You should be proud of yourself.
Well, I am. Thank you. That's great. That's great. So it's definitely the music of the language that I just fell in love with. And you would know, the more north you go, the more interesting it gets. And
all the different accents all over the place.
And again, just it is fascinating thing. And I'll tell you one more thing, because I've heard that many times, and from Polish people and from kind of locals there, that I seems to be a nicer person when I speak English.
Wow, okay. Do you feel that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a difference sometimes the way I speak to my daughter in Polish and the way I speak to my daughter in English.
Okay.
I think English is, in its nature, it's just, I don't know, it's a bit more polite. But this is, again, like you've just talked about, diving in a bit deeper. This is where it just, when you begin to analyze that language, you can still be polite and be, there is a language behind the language. There's a meaning behind certain words, right? I've just, when you talked about that podcast, I just thought about how people, I don't know if they do it in England, but in Scotland, exactly, oh, he was all right. And you think, when you don't know, you think, somewhere average in the middle. But in Scots, the more it's like, oh, it was all right. Yeah. And the kind of broader the language, the accent, the more they like it. Exactly. Another thing is very interesting. I had to learn it. It took me a while, and it's like, because I also sell pictures, and people will just look at it and say, "So, what do you think about that?" That's interesting. Which means they're not interested in that. They're trying to tell you, I'm not a big fan of it. So again, if you just have to pick up those kind of social clues.
But they're not. It's not a clue. Right?
No, it's not. But again, I think it's a very interesting way of saying, do you know what? I'm going to say it. Sorry, it's shite, but without saying it's shite.
I think. Well, I live in Poland now, and I think I've seen the change in my husband. He can watch this podcast later and tell me what I think. But I've seen a change in my husband in terms of how direct he can be. Like he's always been quite direct. I think it's in his nature, in his culture, and in his culture from being from Poland. You're a bit more direct than people in the UK are. But I think he's become more direct, and I find it coming from my culture. It's really hard. It's really hard sometimes.
It is. It is hard for me to go back to Poland. Yeah, it is. I must admit that kind of directness and let's just leave it there. Directness of the language.
I think he's not trying to be horrible. He's just saying his opinion. Whereas we would just in the UK. I don't want to say we and they, but the kind of different cultures in Scotland, we're just a bit more gentle, and we'll think about maybe what the person wants to hear.
Yeah, most of you are. Yes, I would say. I mean, so like everybody, right? But there is this kind of consideration in the language that is, imprinted into you as a person and into language that you use, and you kind of. Yes. So would you, could you, should you, maybe, things like that. Yeah. I think it is in Polish language, but I think we just
it's not used as much, right? Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So let's think about people who want to go to Scotland who might not be native English speakers. They've never been to Scotland before. What advice would you give them in terms of the language?
Watch Braveheart. And then watch Braveheart again.
Yeah.
And
then
again.
Trainspotting?
Leave Trainspotting for later on. Because you may change your tickets after using it, after watching it. See, it's not an easy question. I think I'm just going to say it from my own perspective. The way I kind of I don't want to say dealt with it, because it wasn't a challenge. It's always been a pleasure. And when I go back to Scotland, I'm coming home without even thinking about it. I think it's about having this, be open-minded, have your mind open and have your heart open. And this is extremely, extremely important to me anyway. And you mentioned that 3 minutes ago. Then when you have this open and that open, you stop categorizing people, they and they and we. So I don't tend to see things as better and worse, right? I just tend to think of things as different. And I'm thinking, why are they different? And why people are doing things the way they do, why people speak the way they do.
That's the interesting thing for me.
Yeah. So it is definitely different to what you have heard, language-wise. And I think it is just, for me, as someone who's passionate about languages, that would be one of the first destinations I would go to. Even if you're not a big fan of Scottish accent, but oh boy, you just have to experience that, because, there are some most beautiful accents you can meet even on the street, right? And sometimes, even if you don't, sometimes again, I must admit, there are moments when I've been there for the 15 years. I'm walking down, I don't know, Leith Walk, right? And someone says something to me, and I thought, wait, what?
It happens to me too, So.
And again, I'm not taking this experience as something negative. I'm taking this experience as, oh wow, I would love to stop and say, can you say it slowly? And sometimes someone says that slowly, and then I think,
you're fine.
No, repeat it again.
Right.
And sometimes I'm fine, and sometimes I am not fine. And well, maybe that's something that I could advise. It is okay not to know.
Yeah.
It is okay, and I think Scots are fantastic people, and if you tell them, sorry, I'm not from here, could you kind of slow down a little bit? I don't see why they shouldn't, and they would. And they would, because I've had so many occasions on which I said, yeah, mate, you need to slow down there a little bit, because I've got no idea what you're talking about.
And I think in general people are quite helpful if people say I don't know what you're saying, or they look like they don't know what you're saying. People try to go a bit slower, or
true,
say something in a different way.
Yes,
not always, but
sometimes even too helpful. It's like, I know you've lived in Glasgow for 30 years, but just Yeah, oh, absolutely. And just as I said, just kind of throw yourself in, I think. And even if you don't understand it, like the way I look at it, again, I just love to absorb that. Just kind of take it in, take it in. And again, just it's a fantastic journey.
And you're still on it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool.
Good.
Yeah. Come to Scotland.
Good. Yeah.
Can I just say, because
sure.
I've got two situations.
Sure.
Right?
Oh yeah. So maybe
we never
some
touched
stories
on
about communicating in Scotland.
So I'm a teacher. The first one is something to do with school. I was part of a curriculum in Scotland is teaching older kids about sexually transmitted infections, STIs, STDs they call them sometimes as well.
Yeah, so
and
sexually transmitted diseases.
Diseases or infections. I think they've changed it into infections. Sounds
I think
better.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Or maybe they just use it both. Use both of them. And from that, it happened to me, and since then I've been really paying attention in my head.
Okay.
What I say and how I say, and it's just more like a grammar thing, right? Than Scots. And I had a class in front of me, and I said, "Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to guys divide you into groups, and each group is going to get an STI from me." And I just couldn't get why everyone's laughing. They just could not stop laughing. They were like absolutely in stitches, right?
Well, you would be, right?
And I just, needless to say, like I couldn't finish that lesson, right? Because they said, "Mr. C, you're a classic, right? We've never heard anything like that." So obviously, yes, I was absolutely paranoid when I got home because I thought, what are they going to say if the parents are going to ask them, "What is it that you were doing in RE?" Where do I start? So now I just need to think about, okay, you're going to get a description of STI or what each STI is on a piece of paper. And then each group is going to, work with it, and then, and so on and so on, right? But yeah, it's like a little lesson. And again, like from what I, going back to what I said, I could have taken it as, I'm a teacher and I'm never wrong, But even from, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, you can learn a lot. Yeah. And I've learned tons of language, right? Little words that kind of get you, let you survive in high school.
And I think as well with younger people, the language is developing faster with them than with other age groups. So you working with them so directly is going to have a massive impact. You probably learn more of that language than me.
I don't know. I don't know. You could come. I don't mind. But do you know what's really, really beautiful as well in working with young people? They don't tend to be that judgmental. Even if you make a mistake. Some of them, obviously, it's not a paradise where every kid is absolutely fantastic. It's not. But some of them just don't pay attention, because they have friends from all over the world. Yeah. And most of them are developing their English, you know. Yeah. And they want to communicate, they want to connect. And it doesn't matter whether you make a mistake or not. Yeah. And some of them just don't care, and you can use it as your own advantage, So yeah, that's that. The second bit, I used to work in a care home, and I was helping an elderly person to get dressed, and at some point she goes, "You need to pull my brakes up, son." And immediately I started looking at the walls. Bricks. Right, okay. And I'm thinking, what bricks? I mean, there's no bricks here. And she goes, no, son, my bricks. Yeah. And she obviously meant pants, right? Like trousers, as in trousers, right? Yeah. And again, just different things, just that could have gotten me in trouble. Like I was giving someone personal care, and I said, I had wellies on, and I said to her, "Do you like my willies?" Just Well, I wouldn't say that if I was you. But again, you know, she just knew that my English was not good enough at that time. And she was like, yeah, Peter, you know, I'm just going to say to you, it's the wellies and the willies, you know.
Yeah.
And again, like we talked about it earlier on. I had 2 kids in the classroom, and one of them was Taylor, and the other one was Tyler. And to hear the difference between Taylor and Tyler, especially where there is that kind of strong accent on the top of it, where people go Taylor and Tyler. It's just difficult, but again, because of my love for that language, I just thought that's quite fascinating. I want to learn that.
That's amazing.
And I want to be good at it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just
Fantastic.
a wee story.
That's great. And no, I was just going to say, you're inspirational in the way you've tackled the language, because it's tricky. And then, well, the language of English is tricky, and then we added the extra Scottishness on the top as well on you.
I like to play with language, and you know, I think I get, you know, my English is not perfect and will never be, but I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking to have fun with it.
Yeah.
You know, I want to use it naturally, like I use it with my daughter at the moment. Like we switch quite a lot. Yeah. And I just want to have fun using it. I
think as well, like for me, teaching English, it's not about being perfect. It's about getting your message across. And some students I have are very hesitant in putting the words out because they think they're going to make a mistake. But it doesn't matter. You're going to make a mistake. I make mistakes all the time as well, so it doesn't actually matter if you make the mistake. You're just trying to... If you make a mistake, you get the message across that you want to, that's your goal ticked off, right? So,
also, another advice, try not to focus too much on grammar. You know, just get on with it. Yeah. Just take it in, try to repeat what other people say. Good luck when you're going down Leith, right? Leith Walk.
Or other places too.
Places too. Nidri, or you know, if you go to Glasgow. But just don't think about, is this an adjective, or is this the right form, is this the right tense? Yes, the more naturally you come towards language, the more it kind of becomes your reality, if you know what I'm trying to say. And
I think just people in Scotland don't know if it's an adjective anyway, right?
Well, I didn't want to say that, but since you said that, and true. Again, going back to what you said, it's about communicating. It's not about being correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because you know, I know people who says, you know, I says, and you know, and so on and so on. Like the bell has the bell went. Yeah. Has the bell went, sir?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
There you go.
I think it's
There you go.
I think it could be in the future that is grammatically correct.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so many people use it.
Yeah. And I'm not there to correct anybody. I'm there to accept it. My mind is open. Yeah. That's the way we speak there. Fine. I don't care. I'm not an English teacher.
No. Great. Thank you so much for this.
Absolute pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you for coming along, and so glad that you feel like you're now Scottish.
I am.
Yeah, or always have been. Who knows?
Yeah, we will never. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm here.
We'll find out after another 10 years. We'll see. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Thanks, Peter. It's great to hear that you call yourself a Scot now, and so you should. Scotland is to be enjoyed by the people who live there. I want to say a huge thank you to Peter for joining me on the podcast today, and I hope you enjoyed the show as well. What did you find most interesting about Peter's story? Tell me in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more podcasts about Scotland, its history, culture and accents. See you next time.